Everyone, welcome back to Eye of the Star Wars Story, and today I'm going to be talking about the Skeleton Crew episode 1 and 2 premiere that we got last night. Oh my word, it was so good, so let's go and jump right into it. First off, whenever the pirates are invading that ship, they get to the vault, and we see their captain come up almost immediately. As soon as I see him walking and I hear his voice, I'm like, that's Jad Nanawan, guaranteed, that is him. I 100% think that's him. And then we see that the pirates get mad at him because they lost so many good men for one measly credit, and they turn on him, so that would be a good reason for him to be in the brig. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I'm 100% thinking that's Jad Nanawan. Like, why else would he be in the brig for no reason? That's what I was, thinking. And just by the way he, talked and the way that he, acted, I was like, yeah, that's him. And that would be another really good thing, would be that the reason he knows how dangerous these pirates are, he was their captain. He knows what they're capable of. And then as we go on in the episode, we see that Wim wakes up. We see he's playing with some Star Wars figurines with a Jedi and Sith figurine, and we see that his father's calling him down. He doesn't want to be late, so we see that Wim's eating something for breakfast before he leaves for school, and we see his father give him the Old Republic credits and says, here's your lunch money. So that immediately confirms that is their currency there at Aden. That is their everyday currency. And so that, whenever the kids are, shocked whenever they go to the spaceport and the pirates are like, what are you doing with Old Republic credits? We can see why they're shocked, because to them it's everyday currency. It's nothing special. But to the pirates, it is something. It's not, you don't see that. And so that explained a lot. And then I liked what Star Wars did here. Whenever they're on the way to school on the day that Wim finds out he has the assessment tomorrow, I like what they did here with KB and Fern. So we know from that one clip that on assessment day, we see that Wim misses the tram and he takes a shortcut. We see that from the clip. But the way that he found out about the shortcut was from Fern and KB. And I have a feeling the reason he thought it was a shortcut was because he saw Fern and KB go that way and make it to school before everyone else did. Therefore, he thought it was a shortcut. He didn't know that there was a what are those things called? I'm trying to remember what they're called. He didn't know there was a ridge there that he had to be careful of. That he could fall into. And we see that he falls in there and gets trapped. And then something else that I noticed is that, we knew from the trailers that Aten was going to be a highly strict planet, but whenever the episode started and they're like, any kids that miss school will be punished. Any kids that are late to class will be punished. Any kids that miss their assessment will be punished. And we see that whenever Wim was trying to get to school and he was late and the safety droid finds him and he's like, you didn't follow school protocols, you're in trouble. And he's like, follow me. And then we see that it is a very strict planet. And we also see that with, the barrier, that no one is allowed to go in or out of the barrier. There are supposed to be no ships that land or take off. No one is allowed to leave the barrier. If they do, that is a very big offense. So from what we can tell, that Aten is a very strict planet, which we were expecting from the trailer, but I wasn't expecting how strict they actually are. And then with Fern's mom, whenever we see her talking at the school, she talks about how every job is important to the Republic, and keeping it running smoothly. So I'm like, okay, did they know about the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire, and then the enlistment of the New Republic? Or do they not know? Because I don't think they know. I think that, I don't think they know at all. Like, how could they? They don't have any ships coming in or out of port. They are not allowed to leave. So, yeah, I'm going with, I don't think they know at all. And then, as we see, and now we're going to jump into what the kids' personalities are like. So each kid is very, like, we see that Wim's, like, the dream kid, like, the kid that wants to dream, the kid that wants to do everything adventurous, explore, everything different. We see that Neil is the kid that's quiet, doesn't want to get in trouble, wants to do everything right, and we see that a lot. Like, we see with Wim, he loves reading up on the Jedi, he loves pretending to be one, he loves going on different adventures, he loves doing new things. And we see with Wim that he doesn't want, we see with Neil that he doesn't want Wim to get in trouble whenever Wim misses the tram. We see how nervous he is because he doesn't want Wim to get in trouble. We see whenever they're going out into the woods to unbury that door to the ship, we see that Neil makes Wim promise that he won't get in trouble. And we also, like, it's just, we see that Neil is very much the kid that doesn't want to get in trouble, doesn't want to do anything wrong at all. And with KB, we see that she is the very smart, techie kid. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's really good with what she does. Like, with the ship, whenever Wim grabs something and he tries to pull himself up on it, he's like, "Here, Neil," and then it turns out to be nothing, and he just slides off more dirt. And so she sees the control panel. She sees the control panel for the door, and she immediately knows what to go do. She goes to it, opens it, and that little module that she has on her head, I want one of those. That thing is cool. It has a voice module. It has a built-in power source that she can use to turn on other things. I'm like, okay, girl, that's cool. And so we see that she hooks up her module to the door's pallet and is able to open the door. So yeah, and then we see that Fern is very much the rebellious type. We see that she gets in trouble a lot from the safety droids. We see that she goes to the principal's office a lot. We see that she is the one that gets in trouble quite a bit. And I have a feeling that the reason that Fern is like that is because her mom, as we see in the first episode, is very much the mom that wants Fern to be perfect, wants Fern to be like her. Because we see that she is the top, she is a very important person. And so I have a feeling that she's wanting Fern to be like that, because whenever Fern gets home that day and she finds that her mom's home early, she has their droid that was working there hide her stuff from racing that day. We see that she has her, hide that stuff. Then she's like, and if my mom asks, I was upstairs studying, and she's like, and the droid's like, but you weren't upstairs studying, and she's like, memory override. I was upstairs studying, you just didn't see me. And the droid's like, I just didn't see you. So whenever her mom's like, Fern, honey, is that you? And she's halfway up the stairs, she turns around immediately and is like, sorry, Mom, I was just upstairs studying. And so Fern's mom comes up and she hands her the badge for being top of her class. She's like, you got your badge back. And Fern's like, where did you get this? And she's like, I had to swing by your school today. And we know that she swung by the school to talk to the kids about how important their careers are. But so she was like, I'm so proud of you, honey. Just don't let it slip again. There's not room for everyone at the top. Like, we see that she wants Fern to be perfect, it seems like. And so I'm definitely curious on where that's going to go. And then as we move on into the second episode, we see that no one knows how to get home to AT-ATN, but everyone's heard of AT-ATN, which I thought the reason that no one knew about AT-ATN was because no one had heard of it, no one knew where to go. But it turns out people don't know where to go to get to AT-ATN. They don't know where it is, but they do know of AT-ATN because it is apparently a tale. They think that it is a long-lost planet with treasures on it. And so they don't know how to get there because they think it's a myth. People have tried searching for it, no one's ever found it. So that's why no one knows how to get the kids home, was because it was a myth. Which I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was thinking that it was going to be because they didn't know about AT-ATN at all, but it turns out they do know about it, they just don't know how to get home. Which made a lot of sense. And that also explains why the kids are so shocked and confused whenever they try paying with the Old Republic credits, we can see the confusion go over Neil and Wim's face whenever they're like, Old Republic credits, where'd you get these? And Neil's like, his dad gave them to him from lunch money, and everyone's like, lunch money? And then that also explains why whenever they ask, well, where are you from? And they're like, Ad-Aden, and they're like, Ad-Aden. It also explains why they're so confused, like why they're confused and the pirates laughed at them whenever they said that. Because everyone has heard about it, but no one's been able to find it, and they just think it's a myth. So that made a lot of sense. And then, swinging about to the end of the second episode, we see they get thrown in the brig, because Fern tried to be Fern, and measly her way out by just trying her hardest. And that didn't work, so you see they get thrown in the brig, and they try to get the key using that little mouse, which is so cute, which was living in SM-33's eye, which I thought was really cute, and I'm like, oh my word, I love the little mouse-looking thing. And we see they try to use the mouse to get the key. It can't figure it out. And then here comes Jad-Non Nawin using the Force to get the key, and we see that Wim's like, you're a Jedi. Oh my word, you're a Jedi. And Jad-Non Nawin's like, can you keep a secret? And that's where the episode cut out. And so I was like, okay, that was good. I had fun. I enjoyed that. And then we moved on a little bit and now I'm going to start talking about some of the scenes that I thought were, like, funny. One of them was with SM-33. I love the droid's attitude. I'm like, oh my word, it's amazing. We see that SM-33, whenever Wim is like, it wasn't my fault, and he's on the ship, and SM-33 was just teaching them how to fly it, and he's like, it wasn't my fault. And then he runs off, and SM-33's like, should I throw him out the airlock for insubordination? And Fern claimed that she got rid of the captain, and now she was the captain, so now SM-33 thinks that, she's the captain, so he talks to her. So he's like, should I throw them out the airlock, captain? And I thought that was just really funny. In general, I really like the show. I'm looking forward to next week. We still have so much to uncover about Ad-Aden. We still have so much to learn, so much to see, so much to figure out. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where the story goes and seeing what happens. We see that the only thing that Jad-Non Nawin wants in return of him, we see that, not the only thing, but we see that Jad-Non Nawin wants in return of helping them escape is to go with them back home. We see that's what he's wanting in return. But that's all I have to say for Skeleton Crew today. I hope everyone I'm realizing I'm ending up a tad bit early. I give both episodes a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you guys rate them. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and as always, God bless. Bye, guys.